Hello and welcome back to the Dota Pit League season number 3 group stages. We are here with our last series of the day. It's been a long day, but don't you worry. We got 2 more games on tap for you. It is HellRaisers versus mYi. And, well, the 2-game series getting underway in the draft again, brought to you and organized by One Game Agency, brought to you by High Ground TV. As always, after a long day, we've got Pitmuckle still doing the producing. We got Motpeck still on the stats. And for the first time, we have mYi joining us from Pixel Pipeline. mYi, how are you, man?
Hello there. I am good, thank you. All the way from over the pond, and doing good. Looking forward to final game of the night. I believe this one is it?
Yeah, we have a series. It's a 2-game series, so
Final series, yeah, that's what I mean.
yeah. So these 2 games, and then we'll see how it ends up. But honestly, mYi, they got some winning to do. They took over for Virtus Pro, I should say. Virtus Pro played, I believe, 2 series. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe just 1. mYi took over and then have lost every game since then. They're looking to finish out their final series here in the group stages with a win. HellRaisers have only played 2 series. They're 2-2 right now, still with a long way to go in the group stages. HellRaisers, one of the up-and-coming teams, I think. One of my favorite teams to watch, actually, and we'll see how they draft here as they pick up the Storm Spirit, the Earthshaker start out with, whereas mYi, they go for the Lion and Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, pretty standard picks and bans coming out so far, and I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, the Sniper gets banned out, and instantly the Shadow Fiend's picked up because we've seen that obviously quite a bit of a counter recently, especially after DAC when Shadow Fiend really came back into fruition in the meta. And they're going to match that one up with a Bristleback as well, which is another hero that I actually think doesn't do that does quite well against the Shadow Fiend. So. Sensible bans coming out so far from mYi. In terms of how you would expect this one to go, Matt, what are you thinking? What are your initial thoughts before we see the rest of the draft?
Before I saw who was playing for mYi, I would have said HellRaisers maybe 2-0, but what we should expect is that actually Arise is playing for mYi, a recently teamless player after some controversy when he played with Burden. One of my favorite people to watch on Magnus specifically, and he's just a great mid laner all around. Really good utility player as well. I think this could be a 1-1 series, and maybe mYi get lucky in 2-0. I was so excited to watch them in the Dota pick qualifiers, and they were so good, but it just wasn't enough. And now they have not looked good at all, man. So it could go anyway, but I think HellRaisers probably take this 2-0 still. We'll see.
We'll see. Afaninja on his Storm Spirit. Hopefully we'll see some special plays coming out from him this game or this series. But yeah, I mean, Arise, obviously great addition for mYi. And you were talking about we had a lot of DCs, bit of DDoSing going on in the previous game. I was casting Arise the other day, and he was playing Invoker, and I got disconnected for the whole game. And they paused for 15 minutes, whatever the allowance was in the tournament I was casting, and they ended up, resuming. And you talk about how hard it is how difficult it is to actually micro a Clockwork and a Skywrath together.
Yeah.
You should try with Invoker, because that's what Arise was playing. that was a very difficult game.
I don't even know how that happens. I don't know how you micro an Invoker.
I don't even know how that happens.
How did the series end up where the game ended up? I'm assuming they lost, but maybe I'm wrong.
Arise came back, they stomped, and they won. Now they lost.
Oh, well, that could have, Oh, what a situation. Good old disconnects from Dota. Sometimes it's just nothing you could do about it, but well, this is actually this draft is taking a while. Clockwork's banned out for mYi, and yeah, everything's just kind of, it's coming into place, but it's a bit slow. And we'll see what HellRaisers pick up in their 3rd pick. I haven't seen HellRaisers in a long time. It's been a while since I've seen these players, and I can't really remember what they usually go for. Storm Spirit certainly is not something I see a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I think the last time I saw HellRaisers play was a while ago. It was Afaninja when he played his Tinker and did his Yules.
Oh, yeah.
Build.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Yeah.
I remember that game.
I think that was the last time. That was a pretty special game. I've been and studied that replay a few times, so. But yeah, Afaninja is a great player if he gets a hero that he can make some flashy plays on. So hopefully he'll be in the mood tonight or this afternoon, as wherever you guys are.
It's not often you beat a team like Secret, especially with one of our TZ's heroes in the Tinker, and he did it in a styling fashion. And ever since then, I've been a big fan of the Yules on Tinker, but no one else seems to be picking it up, or even picking Tinker for that matter. The hero is sorely missed in the Dota scene. A hero that is coming back to the Dota scene little by little is Keeper of the Light, and they go for it. They seem to have a plan here. mYi, they keep on trucking. They're going to go for the axe. What will we see? Will we see maybe a PL? That's another hero that's up and coming that I'm a big fan of. I really love that hero.
I think the PL is really strong. I think it's changed a lot, and a lot of teams and players are working out how the new PL works. Because especially over the last few games that I've seen PL, I've seen the split push has been attempted a lot more than I expected it to be. Not so much as in the hardcore split push that you used to get with the old PL.
Right.
I very much associated the new PL with a fighting PL, like
right.
Grouper with his team. He would go in, he would fight. He has one of the most OP skills in the game, in my opinion, and that's how it would work. But you don't really see that so much from the last couple of games where I've seen him. He's been a little bit more utilized in a sort of split pushing. Whether that's he just gets behind a little bit early, I'm not sure. But wow, Pudge.
Pudge for the Storm Spirit already picked up for HellRaisers. They've got a plan. I'm not sure what it is yet. They have the Keeper of the Light to give him some extra mana. He can hook for days. This was not what I was expecting. But no, you're going back to the PL. You're absolutely right. More of a fighting PL hero that I've played a lot recently. And by the way, they have played it a lot. Artez has picked it up a couple of times for himself in the safe lane, going for that Diffusal, Butterfly, Manta, Scotty kind of build, even getting Vlad's occasionally. J on the Storm middle. I really think this is a Storm mid, and then they put the Pudge elsewhere. But that's just my theory crafting, and what the hell do I know? So
maybe, yeah. I mean, they could potentially offlane the Pudge, which I don't think is necessarily that strong, especially not into a Lion. But it's something that I imagine Dread would be able to do if they particularly wanted to lane it like that. I definitely feel like HellRaisers probably come into this one quite confident. They probably expect to win this game. I think they're 2-2 so far in Dota Pit, aren't they?
Yes.
Looking at the brackets, yes.
Yep.
So I mean, I've been doing too bad. Interestingly, I saw a stat actually, and I can't give the person credit. I apologize because I've forgotten who it was. But it was something like HellRaisers' last 7 games that they've been involved in, the Dire team has won. And interestingly, HellRaisers are playing on the Dire side this time around.
And they thrive, it seems like, maybe on this side as the old Dire side. Not as strong as it once was, but still a pretty okay side to be on for sure. The Dazzle now coming out. Dazzle acts quite the combo. We saw it in the last game. No Dazzle for HellRaisers. Not that I would have grabbed it anyways. The Shadow Fiend line, Axe Dazzle. Pretty solid lineup so far. Almost every strong hero in 6.83, at least 3 of the strong heroes on their side. And then you add in the Dazzle. Give him the weave. Give him the extra armor. It's going to be interesting. I'm kind of... Is Arise going to play Shadow Fiend? Will he play the off lane maybe? That's the big question. Where is Arise going to go in this situation?
Pick up next, I think. Offlane Magnus. You can see it happen. We've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
I'd love them to pick it. I mean, it's not been banned out at all. HellRaisers clearly aren't scared of it, but you've got some heroes that can deal with the Magnus, to be fair. Earthshaker's quite nice because you've got the long range Fisher, so anytime you spot him, if he's not smoked up on the back of the fight, you can just try and initiate on him first with the Fisher or blinking in once he gets the blink dagger. And Storm Spirit, of course, as well, is a very, very difficult hero to lock down, even when you've got something as reliable as RP. So it'll be very, very interesting. I mean, do you think that this is maybe going to be, I say it quietly, but maybe a core Earthshaker? Because I feel like there's quite nice synergy with the Keeper of the Light and the Pudge. It isn't a very strong lane, which may be a problem. But it does mean that you can roam around very, very effectively with the Pudge and try and make a lot happen with the early mana usage and the early mana spam.
I would love to see a Chorus Shaker, but now this PL pickup, I'm not so sure.
No,
there's nobody that would like to see a Chorus Shaker more than me. When Korak played it at CI4, I was a big fan. When I saw it in NA Dota in-houses, I was a big fan, but he's most utilized often. I actually don't know if there's been a Chorus Shaker for the longest time. I would imagine it hasn't been picked up for some time, but again, we were right with our first instincts with the PL and the Coddle going together. More than likely, Artez playing the PL in that safe lane. Now the question is just, where does the Storm and Pudge go? We talked about the offlane Pudge maybe having a rough time. Where do they lane him? Where do they send him? Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, last pick anti-mage coming out for Gogi. That's been his hero as well. He's done a lot of work with this, but Arise is playing the Shadow Fiend. That's interesting. Again, we think of Arise as somebody that has a lot of experience playing tempo controllers, specifically Magnus, which we've talked about, but This is not the hero I was expecting him to be on, and I'm sure he's gonna delight us with a nice SF.
I hope so. I sure hope so. It looks like he's going to be up against Ninja in the mid lane. So Pudge off lane, roaming Pudge, support Geo. Because I mean, you've picked up the Cottle PL combo, so it is a pretty strong dual lane. You could just leave them alone and have a Pudge roaming around, but that does mean that you're leaving Dread, who has picked up the Earthshaker, to go on off lane on his own.
It's interesting. I think at this point the Fisher Block's going to come out. This Earthshaker's going to roam around a lot, I think, also. I don't know. This is a weird situation. I can't remember 111 every time I see him. Artez, Ninja, go. Goddamn. Is Goretz here? Is that who it is? Is it Goretz? I think it is. All right, I'm pretty sure. See, that's the problem, is that the lobbies have been down for Dota 2v, or just Dota 2 in general. So the team names haven't been working for some teams. I think it's been... I don't know, because Tinker didn't have their team names either. We had to just kind of guess who was who. Yeah. And I think, actually, I just think Goretz has actually just used 111 for a long time as his name, though. But it looks like he's going to be down here in the bottom rune. This is tough. When you go for this early rune against a Pudge or any hero with a skill shot, you know, like an arrow, obviously, you expect it to come out. It's going to be difficult. Gogi's going to try to go for it here in about 16 seconds, though. We'll see what happens.
He's going to have to move around a little bit. He's not quite got the range. It's not that good at level 1.
Yeah.
It's actually a little bit more difficult coming from the Dire off lane as a Pudge. You want to be at the Dire safe lane if you're looking to try and get a hook on the rune at the first minute, but nope, they're just going to give up the rune. And now we'll see the Shaker Fisher block coming in.
Dread will come in. He'll body block for a bit. Maybe wait till the tower. Missed the range creep. Well, that's fine. Range creep going first. Deliberate. Yeah, that's actually, I think, better. It actually works out kind of just in favor of Dread in this off lane. Milan as well as Gogi now actually dual laning with top lane Lazard. I think he placed a ward. Maybe not. Now he's rotating up. I think they gave the ward to Mitch, who put up the ward in this spot, giving him plenty of vision of any hero rotating through that avenue. So it is actually a dual lane. An Axe Dazzle dual lane and an aggro dual lane is a very good situation. But you do have to remember, this is a Spirit Lance Phantom Lancer. He can spam it out with the help of Chakra Magic. Something to keep in mind.
That is true, but he can spam it out to do decent harass. But he's going to have a very difficult time just coming into lane and trying to find CS. Because any times he comes near, there's always going to be the potential for that Berserker's Caller once Mitchell hits level 2. And you don't want to get caught with that in a few creeps. Then the Dazzle heal on top of it. The amount of physical damage, especially in the early portions of the game, is just absolutely filthy.
Which is why I think Goddamn is also blasting out the waves. Artez knows that he's not going to CS here. At least not yet. And they need a rotation. Maybe Dread goes top. Maybe they get a roam from somebody. But at this point, this lane is very difficult for Artez to CS. And now there is that level 2, like you mentioned, on Mitch. They really need that Chakra Magic for Goddamn. His clarity gets canceled. He got a lot of usage out of it. Mitch is running at Artez. Might just go for the call altogether. No Doppelganger level yet. He is actually going to skill up Phantom Rush, which is pretty nice. Weave in and out if you can.
It's quite a difficult spell, I feel like, to manage often, because especially when you're orb walking and you're trying to cancel your attacks to get the most out of your backswing.
Right.
When you're trying to CS. And you just find yourself cancelling it so often, especially in the early laning stage. Once you get into a position where you've got your illusions and you're just charging at people, then it's a brilliant, brilliant skill. But in the early laning stages, I'm actually a little bit surprised that he chooses to put 1 point into it.
It's more of a hassle than anything, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you run at people, it's pretty great. Doppelganger will probably be scaled up after his next point of Spirit Lance, which he's not really spamming out yet. Is there? Yeah, the Chakra now comes out for Goddamn, and Clarity is up as well. Down bottom, this aggressive dual lane, not really stopping Gogi from CSing. He's up to 10 right now. Fisher comes out into Milan, but no follow-up. There is some mana break, so hitting up a hook might be pretty difficult soon. They actually might get Dread here. They get the Hex, the Earth Spike as well. Dread in trouble. They actually might get Gogi with the Rot. They get the kill. He dies for the last thing. He gets a double kill for the off-lane Pudge. What a goddamn disaster. Oh, mYi. How does that happen?
I didn't even know. That's pretty much the worst start that you can have right now if you're mYi. That is not good. Not good. Anti-mage falling and the line as well. How did the anti-mage actually die? Did he just tick out from the rot damage after a blink?
I think so.
I thought he got to safety.
And I thought he did as well, but I think the last rot tick did hit. Meanwhile, a call through the trees. Phantom Rush. Lazard gonna go down. Artez gets a kill. And now suddenly the lane is freed up for him to CS as well. And Mitch he'll push him back for the time being. He gets chakred up. Artez will wrap around towards the tower. And now that's 3 kills for HellRaisers, despite not getting farm. Earthspike coming in. The rot. Milan in trouble down bottom. Not going to die to the rot. He doesn't turn it on, doesn't keep it on, and doesn't follow up in the kill. And Gortz not getting that last hit, but he will have to send Milan back home. He'll have to take the long trip back, or he might just deny himself. We'll see.
How's mid lane going? It was a predictable early lead going for Afaninja on the Storm Spirit, but it looks like the CS is starting to go a little bit more the way of Arise now as he catches up a little bit, which is as to be expected. Once you get 2 points into those shadow raises, then it's very, very easy just to clean out the wave very, very quickly, and he's obviously bottle growing as well at the same time.
Top lane, nothing really happening yet. They thought about diving, they backed up, they said maybe not, let's be a bit safer about this. Mitch is weaving in and out, bobbing, if you will, getting Illuminate blasted, but it's very tanky. Ring of Regen. He's a lot of regen. Didn't get that Ring of Protection early. He knew he wasn't going to take the most damage from right clicks in the world. So he'll get his Tranquil Boot soon. Speaking of Tranquils, Pudge has it bottom. He got a Regen rune, by the way, which is pretty solid. Now Gogi might have a bit of a rougher time. Going for the Burning build, 1-1-1, and then that extra point in stats. He'll get the second point in stats more than likely. Arise also using the jungle, making sure he stacks up and gets the most out of it.
Yeah, definitely. It's so frustrating to deal with an axe, especially when you're a PL that hasn't gone for a stout shield at level 1. He's got the Ring of Protection, which gives him a little bit of extra armor, but actually not having a stout shield makes it extremely frustrating to have to last hit under tower, because you actually take so much harass from these creeps. And meanwhile, your axe is taking every single CS by cutting the creep wave. So he's going to be getting reasonably farmed. In terms of what he goes for, do you think he finishes the Tranquils here, or do you not think he needs them? He can just sit on the Ring of Regen and maybe save up for a quick blink?
I think he's got enough luxury where he might be able to have these 2 tangos in salve and then just go for that early blank dagger. But if he wants to be safe, he'll pick up the Tranquils for sure. But we'll have to wait and see. I think he's doing... And the thing is also, he has a Dazzle. So Shadow Wave is also another luxury that he has to regen up with. So he really doesn't need Tranquils yet. But at some point, I imagine he will pick them up. As we do now hit the 6-minute mark, 6-minute rune top is going to be an Invis rune for the Storm, who does have Ball Lightning. Going for the 2-0-4, not getting that point in pull because he thinks they have enough in terms of aggression. Lazard getting Spirit Lance. He does have Grave. Artez goes with the right click. Illuminate Blast misses. Does cancel the Sal for Mitch. Now the Ball Lightning in the Grave going through. Mitch getting a nice Berserker's Call off of that. Does allow the TP to go through from the Dazzle with the Grave, keeping him alive. Nice play. Afaninja rotating up with that Invis rune. Does not secure the kill. Down bottom. Mana break onto the Pudge, but no actual action. Dread does have a Fissure full mana as well. Fissure's going to block Milan from going to the trees. There's the hook. What a snipe coming out from the Pudge. The Rod as well. Gogi has to blink away. Now this lane is getting hard. This lane is starting to do work for HellRaisers with Dread and Gortz together.
Yeah, that was absolutely beautiful. The lockdown there with the Earthshaker, perfectly sniped off by Pudge. And that's the combo they've been looking for down here on this bottom lane. And they've already managed to find themselves 3 early kills, which is going to be very, very nice. Not only just for a little bit of farm, but this Pudge who is desperately needs levels. And that's always the danger when you run a dual lane with a Pudge, is that he's not going to find enough in terms of levels on the lane. And, well, if you find 3 kills, then that is not a problem.
I mean, he's almost level 6. So he's going to have his Dismember. He could start rotating with maybe a Smoke pretty soon. He's even got Tranquils already, plus 1,000 gold. We talk about a fast Blink Dagger for Axe. You can almost say the same thing, which you assume this Pudge would go. There are other options, but Blink is just so good on the hero. So we'll have to wait and see what his choice is. Speaking of which, Mitch does not finish the Tranquil Boots, and he's very close to that Blink Dagger. Needs a Creep Wave or 2, and Artez is sitting at 24 assists. I'm surprised he has that much, actually. So he's not doing as poorly as I think we anticipated, but still a little bit behind.
Yeah, he's getting to a point now where with 3 points in the Spirit Lance, it's actually very, very difficult to just fight up against the spam. Obviously, Mitch has got the Ring of Regen and it hasn't decided to go for those Tranquil Boots yet, so it is going to be a Blink Rush, and he's going to have that up fairly soon. At that point, Artez again is going to have to play very, very safe like he did at the very start of the game, because if he gets jumped on, any creeps around him, then he's just going to get blown up with the Dazzle there in tow, who's got 2 points in the Shadow Wave. The physical damage would just be too much to deal with, and, well, there's going to be a rotation by the looks of it, Mao, in the Radiant jungle. Dread and this Pudge looking to see if they can hit the combo again, and they're going to find Arise. They're going to be able to find the hook. No, they actually miss it. What a disaster, and Arise might be able to turn this one around. He's got the raises. There's going to be the stun from the line as well, and that's going to be an easy kill going the way of your Shadow Fiend.
Nice play from Arise to juke that hook coming out. I thought for sure he was going to get hooked up and killed, but stun duration not long enough. Not the best combo, but it could have gone the other way. It could have just as easily been an easy kill coming out for HellRaisers. They don't clean up on it, but at the same time, Arise getting it done. Now actually gives room to Milan in the middle lane. This is very important. Getting your line, first of all, levels, second of all, CS. But here comes Arise, Shadow Bladed up. He has Requiem, but it's only level 1. He's going to use it. mYi is going to fall within 2 hits afterwards. That's all that's necessary. And he was not expecting that, dear Lord, Arise coming in and blowing him up.
Yeah, that's not nice. When you're sitting in the mid lane, you're maybe looking towards top lane, bottom lane, looking to where you can maybe rotate around and help your team out by finding a kill, and then all of a sudden you look back to mid lane and your life points are gone.
That's that easy for Arise with the Shadow Blade, which no other items, no treads, no Aquila. Rushes the Shadow Blade, and I mean, he's allowed. He's 83 CS, and he's going to hit this tier 1 tower. No rotations coming in from top, no rotations coming from bottom. Free tier 1. Plus that
10
kill.
minutes into the game, 550 GPM there or thereabouts. It's absolutely absurd. He has got so much farm. No wonder he's just decided to rush straight in for the Shadow Blade. And when you get it this early on, it does allow you to do so much with it around the map. And it's an interesting choice, actually, because it's not the first thought that comes to mind, especially at the moment. You think maybe the Mech, the Yule Scepter, the Blink Dagger. These are the sort of things that you expect a Shadow Fiend to rush. But no, Rise is going to show off the Shadow Blade this time around. And, well, he might look to utilize it on the bot lane.
I mean, you don't expect it, and he is going to jump in. He's going to right-click raise and another right-click. Oh, almost denying himself, but the middle raise gets the kill coming out for Arise. Right-clicking Dread. How far will he dive? He has a haste rune. Fisher coming in. Dread is more than likely dead. Actually, Arise stopping. Raise misses, and now he's stuck with the creeps in the Fisher, but now finally gets out, survives. Doesn't get the second kill that he maybe wanted, but still a nice rotation from Arise, Wakian. Already, it looks like the Shadow Fiend is doing a lot of work this game, despite HellRaisers coming off to a fast 4-0 start. Meanwhile, mid lane, Milan going to get caught out, but there's going to be the hex up. Now the call is going to come through. Lazard as well. The Shadow Wave, can they get the kill? mYi out of mana, but bottling up slowly. Will make it out in time. Mitch almost getting the kill there.
Oh, Rise is here. That's why. I was wondering why Mitch wasn't blinking in for that one, but he realized Rise was there.
It's like, you got this. Don't even worry about it. Well, we'll just sit back and CS a little bit. So Arise coming through, and he's been involved in all 4 of his team's kills. In fact, getting all 4 of his team's kills. Arise is carrying the load. And that's pretty solid, because top lane's getting pushed in, and he's going to rotate up there as well. No observer wards that I can see for the Radiant squad. They don't know Arise is rotating. They maybe have to have some feeling, but Requiem's back off cooldown, and if Artez isn't careful, he's going to get obliterated. Oh. Nice play, Artez, the doppelganger. Wall lightning in.
Ridiculous spill. Oh, Mitch is in trouble. Mitch is actually genuinely in trouble right here. There is a dazzle, there is a lion as well, but they've gone a little bit too far away. There's going to be the shallow grave. The cast range on it just being enough, and Ninja is not going to be able to chase this kill down, although the one more right click coming in from Keeper of the Light. Oh.
65 plus 9.
The kill.
No, definitely not, but the range certainly is enough. And they'll take whatever they can get at this point. And that's a big kill. That acts, as long as he's on the sidelines, that allows your carry, allows everybody to be a bit more aggressive, although, again, Arise with the Shadow Blade is always a threat. Now you have to start investing in sentry wards, maybe even picking up a gem later on. The Shadow Blade becoming a big factor. Hook does miss onto Gogi, just actually missing, and he is going to be trying to go for a Battle Fury. At least that's what it looks like. He has the Ring of Health up to 1,000 gold, so it might take him a while. Now rotation, Arise right-clicking. And there's one raise, gets the call up. And there's the dunk from Mitch, gets the Calling Blade, they chop, if you will. And another easy kill coming out as Arise scouts things out with his Shadow Blade, doing so much work. This early Shadow Blade, I didn't anticipate it doing this much work, but man, he's getting so many kills.
It's so nice, and Artez might be in trouble as well because he's rotated straight up to the top lane. The Shadow Blade is there. The ultimate is online as well. Artez, are you in trouble? He's going to have to cancel it. He's not going to be able to get quite close enough, and I think Artez has actually realized that this is what's happening here. He's running away, but he's running an odd way indeed. In fact, he's going to be able to... Is he going to be able to doppelganger down the cliff?
He's trying his best. Oh, he gets it.
Nicely done.
That's a very tight ability. That range is not much, but he gets down to the low ground somehow. And he's lucky to be alive. I think at this point he could have died to Requiem. He could have died to Earthspike. Hook now all the way under the tower, coming in from Goritz. Gets the kill into Milan. Just a bit too close. Nice play. That's the first real hook we've seen in a while. And he did go for the drum, by the way.
Yeah, the great thing now as well is HellRaisers are able to put a little bit of pressure on the map on this top lane. Obviously, PL just farming away on the top lane is pressure in itself, and that's going to give Dread a little bit of time down here on the bottom lane. Completely uncontested, just to be able to pick up a few levels, pick up some CS as well, and start working his way towards a core item, which I imagine you would look to see the Blink Dagger coming online, especially after he's already picked up the Tranquil Boots. We're not going to see anything like Arcanes coming out from this Earthshaker, but then who needs Arcanes when you've got a Keeper Alive on the team, right?
Yeah, exactly. I would say maybe he goes Soul Ring, but because they have that Coddle, then who really knows? Soul Ring seems to be the build. Earthspike just catches just the tip, in fact. Hook's going to go. It's onto a creep. Goritz is, god damn it. Now he's going to back away. And he's actually going to find Mitch walking right towards him. Rot's going to go. It's going to be nice to have, but the counter helix procs are going to go through. Earthspike again, just the tip. Milan somehow getting it done with the Finger of Death, as well as the Culling Blade. 2 ultimates expended for 1 punch, but it's worth it in the end. They get the kill.
He's going to die. Goddamn's in trouble. Coming in to try and do a bit of warding. He has got the blinding light, so that's going to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but there's no help coming in from anywhere on his team, and this is going to be an easy kill going the way of your anti-mage.
Boom. Gets the Mana Void. Gets the kill. PL does get the tower. They also get a kill on Milan bottom, but that's a pretty nice kill. As anti-mage is getting involved, it shows that he wants to fight. Broadsword now done. Maybe picks up the Voidstone here. Looks like he will get the Perseverance. Now just needs the Claymore. 1,200 gold towards that Battle Fury with Treads. About 17 minutes probably, so a bit late, but that was a rough duel lane to be up against, and I don't think anyone will blame him for the late timing.
No, I don't think this is too bad at all. Too bad at all after picking up the Treads first, and obviously dying in that lane as well very early on. And, well, Afaninje and your Purge looking to see if they can find themselves a kill, and they may be able to catch out the anti-mage, but unless they can zip in and hold him in place for long enough, and well, he might just walk into them. This is going to be a treat for them. He's going to get ulted. He's going to get pulled in. Have they got enough? Yes, they do. More than enough damage. And well, Axe rotating in. It's going to be able to find a call onto both of them. And well, with the Dazzle minus armor here as well, they got to get themselves out of here sharpish because they're in trouble. And guess who's rotating around, Mal? We've got a Rise here in the Shadow Blade form. Mitch is going to find another call as well. And in comes the ultimate. Massive damage over onto your Pudge. He's going to go down. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the map, it looks like Earthshaker was able to pick up a solo kill onto the Lion.
Fisher into Echo Slam, I believe. I didn't see the kill, but that's what I'd have to imagine happened. And
yeah, it's on cooldown, so it looks like that was the combo.
Just a juicy, easy kill for any real hero on the map, especially the Earthshaker. That's going to help him get closer and closer. It looks like he's going for that Blink Dagger. Not going to stop for that Soul Ring. He's very close. Well, still needs a bit more CS, but he's not too far off. Yasha being built, I believe, for the Shadow Fiend. Arise will pick that up. Definitely unconventional from what we're used to seeing, but I'm all about the unconventional lifestyle because I've seen so many freaking Yules that it makes me want to pull out my eyes sometimes. So Arise is going to pick up the Shadow Blade, and he's done so much work with it. 5-0-1, and the Yasha is going to help him get some extra damage and some movement speed as well.
Yeah, the Ash is just a great item here because it's going to help him just continue the farm rate that he's got at the moment. It's also going to allow him to be a little bit even more active as well, because when he's TPing into towers to defend it, just before the creep waves arise to them, it gives him a little bit of added movement speed to get to his target with the Shadow Blade before that, obviously that duration runs out, which is going to allow him to find a couple of pickoffs here and there if anyone finds himself out of position slightly on the side of HR. And well, mYi, they're going to... Oh, I thought they were going to go into Roshan then and maybe attempt that, but Arise was just too far away. I was thinking that was a bit of an odd one.
Yeah, you got a Rosh without Arise. Interesting. They'll find Dread. They get the Finger, no chop. It is available now. They go back because the call is still persisting. Even after that long period of time, they get the kill. Nice smoke of Deceit Gang to put the ward up first, then gets the kill. Another juicy pickup, and that's pretty huge because he was building towards that blink dagger. I'm not sure how much gold he lost, but he did lose some. And it continues to be a problem. They're actually...
Yeah, he was pretty close.
Yeah. And Mitch has now built a Vanguard. I don't know when he picked this up, probably a long time ago, but now Vanguard, Blink, and 800 gold on top of it all. But he's feeling pretty good about himself. What about Artez? Top lane, what does he have? This is the second time I've seen him do this, where he goes for the early boots of speed into Vlad's, almost like an anti-mage would after a Battle Fury. Now he has the Diffusal Blade, still no treads. Maybe just gonna wait until he gets bots later on into the game, almost like a Naga would or an old PL would. However, who's right behind him is Artez. Doppelgangers, and I guess Arise doesn't want to chance it. He's waiting mid. They see him. Yeah, they know he's there. The hook comes in as well. They're gonna find him. I don't know how they saw him. He must have ended his Shadow Blade.
Yeah, just as he came around here, he just came out Shadow Blade, and it was just enough for Artez to be able to spot him out. He pinged it out straight away.
I mean, that's a big kill. That's a mega kill streak going to the Phantom Lancer. That's exactly what you want. He just bought that Diffusal, now up to 1,000 gold, and they get the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. Meanwhile, punching the high ground. They had some vision of him rotating up there with this ward, I believe, but yeah, they're going to back away. They're going to make sure they stay safe. On the other side, Dread looking to jump on somebody. Mitch might be the target. Heroes rotating over. Echo Slam goes first. Now the fish should follow up the Enchant Totem. Spirit lands. Mitch calls, stays alive just barely. Gets the grave off. Dread maybe in trouble. Earth Spike, there's the hook. Now Pudge coming in to help out on the backside. Gogi trying to initiate. Maybe not the best time to fight. You're an anti-mage who only has a Battle Fury. Will back away. Turns into a 1-for-0 trade. Well, exchange. Not much going the way of the Radiant side.
Yeah, that was a nice kill to be able to find. For a minute there, I thought they were going to be able to turn it around with the Dazzle coming in and hitting the Shallow Grave at a very, very clutch timing. But no, there just wasn't enough spins. The RNG just wasn't on the side of RX there, and he wasn't able to find a dunk on anyone. But okay.
Artez now with Diffusal, 1,200 gold, continues just to farm the creep camps up into the jungle, and as long as Aphrodite, or rather Arise, stays out, he's more than comfortable. Arise actually having kind of a tough time clearing out these Ancients. Finally, he's going to get it done. He's going SNY, by the way. He's a belt of strength. I can only imagine that becoming an SNY at some point in time. Early gem coming out from the Keep of the Light. They really want to make sure they deal with Arise right now. And that's the best time before he does pick up that Sanjay Yasha. And there's the Blink Pudge coming out as well. He's ready to go. He's got his drum charges down to 4. Everybody's sitting mid currently for mYi. And Mitch going for what seems to be a BKB. Maybe a Halberd. We'll see. More than likely, though, a BKB going to be coming out for the Axe just to stay alive. They're going to smoke up. They don't get the smoke on Gogi. He wants to continue to farm in the jungle. But there's also a counter smoke from HellRaisers. They're ready to go. They're heading towards mid, but mYi, conversely, are heading towards the top jungle. Well, they'll find, again, Artez. Meanwhile, Gogi, you know, he sees the enemy team. He's going to back up. He's not going to fight into that. Artez. Ooh, they missed him. He got recalled. No, he was mid. He must have doppelgangered away in Milan. He's just dead. Dread getting the kill. Aphrodite zipping in. Nice play. Is Gogi continuing to farm the Ancients. He's actually not too far off his Yasha. And we'll see if he goes for a Vlad's, though. That's not always the other option on the anti-mage. Now 5-man Dota coming out from HellRaisers. Alright. Pretty interesting stuff. Wiki, man. What's going on?
DC'd. I'm just coming back now.
Ah, I gotcha. No worries.
Fix my mic in game as well.
You have not missed anything. Gogi is going to take down that tier 1 tower. And they'll continue to push bottom for Dread and the rest of the squad of HellRaisers. Maybe a tread, tier 1 for a tier 2, we'll see. Pudge looking for a hook, not finding it. He just passes by Milan. That would have been the juiciest target. Not going to find him. There's the Vlad's done for the anti-mage. It will be the Vlad's, allowing him to split push a lot more successfully. And maybe staying alive even further.
Okay, we're good.
All right, welcome back. You can see the state of the game currently. Tier 2s for Tier 2s. Recall, Blink, Echo. Gogi might be in trouble. Staying alive. Mad about 20 HP. Gets the Blink away. The finger on a goddamn. They also blow up Dread as well. It was a good effort, but Gogi stays alive the entire time. Pudge looking for a hook. FNJ got a ball lightning and a lot of his mana used there. He does have that Bloodstone and is regenning quickly. Pudge blinks forward. Lizard gonna fall. Blink away. Nice earth spike from Milan. He blinks out. He's gonna try to TP. It looks like he will make it out as well. They only get a dazzle off the back end of that trade. Not the best engagement, not the best trade for HellRaisers. They lose the tier 2 tower, and they lose 2 heroes in the process as well.
Yeah, there just wasn't enough follow-up when the Earthshaker jumped in, and that may be because they had some of their heroes elsewhere on the map. For example, the PL was kind of nowhere to be seen in that fight, and this is again what I was talking about during the draft, and the way that the Phantom Lancer, who you think once he gets that Diffusal Blade up and running, he's in such a good position to be able to just fight heroes, especially with Doppelganger, but it just doesn't seem to be the case in the way that a lot of these players are playing with him, and Maybe we'll see it once the Skadi comes online. That's going to be the key timing. Hopefully.
I think so. I would say if he wanted to fight early, he probably would have gone Treads. He did go Vlad's, which also signifies that he can split push, he can fight early as well.
True.
But he is now with his team. FNJ is regenning. Where's his Bloodstone? He had one. I'm not crazy.
Pudge as well, Mal. Invig Pudge coming around the back. Going to scout this one out. I don't think they've got any detection here. It doesn't look like it at all. And he's just going to be able to give his team a lot of information as well, although... Oh, in fact, they're going to go straight on to Mitch, which is an interesting choice. In comes Storm Spirit. He's going to zip himself in. They're going to have enough damage to be able to bring this guy down, and now they're going to push on further. But I don't think they're going to be able to find anyone, as it looks like mYi are just going to get themselves the hell out of there.
Milan may be going an interesting path. Yeah, he blinked down to his own destruction. In fact, Ball Lightning, he got the Earth Spike off, but... That was a questionable blink coming out from Milan, who's had a couple of interesting deaths. They're going to go even further. Nice blink from Gogi to get out in time, as he was almost food for the Earthshaker again. Hook misses, Pudge too far off. So again, really nice game coming out from HellRaisers. We're trading kind of back and forth right now. Arise not becoming as big of a factor in this middle stage of the game. Sitting at 5, 1, and 2. His Shadow Blade now getting countered by the gem, which was picked up by the Coddle. I believe is put on the Storm Spirit. Yeah, so that's pretty nice to have. They have also decent map control. A lot of wards in the enemy jungle. Even a ward right near them here in the jungle near the tier 2 tower mid lane.
Yeah, their map vision at the moment is absolutely insane compared to that of my Insanity, and it's helping them put a hell of a lot of pressure on the map. And this is the sort of timing that I was thinking, where you would imagine Artez is going to start joining his team, making more of an impact as they push down towers, and this is what I expected to see from HR this game. And well, Anti-Mage, you've got to be careful. Gogi, bottom lane, just farming himself away. He's absolutely fine. He's gonna be able to blink into the side shop and TP himself away. Hook's gonna miss.
The wrong guess, Courts. Sorry, buddy. Womp womp. It happens, though. Ooh, the smoke from mYi. They want to be aggressive. And now Artez is not with them. They can recall him in 22 seconds because he just used his ultimate. So goddamn not having that up and available. But the thing is, they have such good vision that they only really see maybe Gogi at this point. Maybe they're comfortable enough with that, seeing one here on the map. They don't know where anyone else is. They're not backing. Arise is going to find goddamn first. Now they find FNJ, the bigger target. The Requiem's going to go. The Hook is will to save his life. Will he get out in time? He has Storm Spirit. He's a Ball Lightning. He can get away, and it looks like he will. TP is ready to go, or Spike misses. Splits between the two heroes. Gogi's still chasing. Now Artez comes in. Echo Slam onto 2. They blow up the Dazzle. Mitch getting caught out as well. The Mana Void. Now goddamn slow. Not dead yet. Finger comes out. Milan going down. Gogi's next. 3 dead on the side of mYi. Now Mitch in trouble. Getting chased down. The call missing. Diffusal Blade bringing his mana to a complete 0. Mitch is going to give him the enchant totem to the back of the head. They're all kiting him so well. It's going to be all 5 going down as Artez takes care of the Shadow Fiend. It's a 5-for-1 exchange. That's more than HR we're thinking about taking. And the Smoke of Deceit gank for mYi turns out to be maybe the wrong decision. And HellRaisers is more than happy to come out on top.
That was beautifully played by Ninja and the Storm Spirit, because they decided to retreat into the trees and just try and get out of vision of the enemy. And then we had Ninja just popping down the Remnant whenever he could, which was giving them the flying vision in the trees, which was what gave them such a huge advantage in that fight in terms of bringing down the Shadow Fiend and kiting him very, very nicely. So, well played Ninja. And now they're going to be able to go take Roshan. So this is going to be an Aegis on your Storm Spirit, one of the best Aegis carries in the game, and things are not looking good for mYi right now, especially after the incredibly good start that we saw Arise get.
Yeah, Arise maybe not having that impact, and maybe that's the problem with the Shadow Blade. Eul Scepter and Blink might have been more utility, keeping him alive longer, allowing him to weave in and out of fights, but they will take Roche. And with that being said, we will send it over to Pimp Muckle with our first replay of the game. Pimp, what's going on, man?
Alright, so, while everyone is doing Roche inside of HR, I just want to quickly mention, you blink with 2 people onto Aphonin, he just gets dragged away because this push is just absolutely on fire, and you wasted every spell in the book pretty much, where you have actually damage, and suddenly, HellRaisers, look at the storm. Aphonin is playing this so aggressively, he wants to fight so bad, so he's just zipping around, really just making a fool out of the whole squad of mYi, and then, well, the turnaround is there. Everyone is just making some big plays happen, and especially gotta say the Keeper of the Light, who's pretty much a one-man train, because he's always just pulling people in. You come to the team fight, you were split pushing a second ago, but it doesn't matter. Actually, there's action. Let's go, mod.
Ninja being very aggressive onto mYi here with 3 heroes in this vicinity. Milan gets the Earth Spike off, and he'll back away. No finger available. He does have Hex, he'll use it, but I think Milan's dead. He's going to try to get the blink off. That's not going to happen. There's no way. Milan is food for the Dire team at this point. Wakey, I don't know, man. It's looking pretty good for the side of HellRaisers after that last fight, but is Gogi going to be able to carry this game? That's the real question.
It's interesting because you'd look at it on the outset and you'd maybe think that they have the advantage, they have the Shadow Fiend, they have the Anti-Mage, they have the Dazzle. In terms of going into the late game, they have a very, very strong lineup, but are they going to be able to do that against the PL? That's the real question. And we may just see how strong the PL is right here. And, well, Artez, he is getting kited around at the moment. There's going to be the call, there's going to be the ultimate. The Requiem comes in, and you even get the Anti-Mage come in and find the last hit. Very, very nice pick off for mYi to be able to find themselves.
That's a mega kill streak going the way of Gogi. His now Mantis Sal, which has been slow due to the last couple of fights, should be coming out shortly. He just needs that Yasha, as he already, well, and the recipe. He already has the ultimate orb ready to go. Top lane, HellRaisers, they don't give a damn that Artez has gotten blown up. They're just going to keep pushing top. Ninja building into the Hex more than likely, and he's getting very close to finishing that off. Just needs the Mystic Staff, the Void Stone as well. Dread on the front lines, and also going for what I imagine to be an Aghanim Scepter. Arise walking in. Gem of True Sight is on Ninja. They're going to spot him out, and they're going to Mana Leak him as well. Now the punch gets the hook onto Lazard, way up on the high ground. They weren't expecting it. Can force himself to the low ground. They get Ninja up there as well to help out secure the kill. Don't even need him. Milan hexes up, has finger, but gonna get pulled before he can use it. Milan may be in trouble here. The last right click to go, and Ninja will secure the kill. And they're still looking for another hook from the Pudge. I don't think he'll be able to find one. But again, 2 more kills going the way of HellRaisers, and Artez is going to be able to join the fray here with the use of bots that he just purchases.
Yeah, they may not hang around here. They may just wait for the creep wave. I feel like they're in a position where they could actually try and push high ground now if they wanted to. Ninja's in a position where it looks like he's brought his Scythe. Yeah, indeed he has. So he's got his Scythe ready to go. That's going to be on the courier shortly. And he's got 20 Bloodstone charges. Oh, jumping by Mitch. And Dread might be in a little bit of trouble. There's going to be a hook, but it's not going to be able to get Dread to safety. And now Ninja is going to have to get himself out of here. I think he's going to be okay. He's got enough mana to be able to zip nice and far away. And in fact, I think he just wanted to bait it a little bit further. They're going to try and turn this one around. In comes Artez. A huge ultimate, though, coming from Arise, turning this one around completely. And now maybe Artez has just got to get himself out of there. Ninja trying to fight up against this one. He's got the mana to be able to do so. The Shadow Blade is there, but of course he has got the gem. And now he's actually pudging a little bit of trouble. He's getting his mana drained. There's a finger coming through as well. One more right click will do it. Is he just going to deny himself? Yes, he is. And, well, Ninja is going to be able to get himself out of there. And Artez actually went down in that fight as well, falling to the Anti-Mage on the backside, who blinked in after. Very nice fight for mYi.
A disastrous fight, and actually Arise showing off that newly minted BKB, picking that up, and there's not much you could do to Arise when he has that, especially as the Storm Spirit. He wants to jump, he wants to do damage. It's very tough with a full 10-second duration BKB coming out. Artez barely surviving the Requiem, but then going down afterwards, even after the Doppelganger. And this turns the game around again. It's not quite in favor of the Radiant squad for my Insanity, but it does bring them some respite at this point. As HellRaisers, I mean, that's a pretty bad fight, but they still do have the gem. That's the big thing. They still have the Aegis as well, but not for long. And that'll go down in about a minute's time. And now the Anti-Mage gets up to the Manta style. Well, actually, he has 5,000 gold. He's saving for something with the Ultimate Orb. I thought for sure he would have the Manta now, but he is going for his own build. We'll see what it is. He's going to get jumped on too. And they're going to bots in with Artez. Now Pull's going to fly onto Gogi here in just a moment. Artez running in. Lazard is going to come in with the Grave. He's too late to the party. They see him. Doppelganger over to him, and he gets the Grave on himself. He'll try to TP, and he should actually make it out alive, but just barely. Well, again, they get the kills in that top jungle area, well, near the secret shop, but then they lose the Anti-Mage, who had 5,000 gold, loses 500 of that instead of buying something. That's a pretty big loss.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's an interesting game now. We're at a point where just the map control that HR have got means that they can just completely outfarm my Insanity, and that's a huge problem, especially when you've got heroes that are fairly greedy. You know, you've got your Shadow Fiend who wants to be finding a lot of farm. Mitch as well wants to be keeping up with everybody and trying to get as many items online as quickly as possible. And we imagine something like the Shivas, maybe even finishing the Vanguard into the Crimson Guard. At this point in the game might not be the worst decision in the world, but right now they're just playing very scared. And rightly so. I mean, they're getting picked off. I mean, when you're playing against a lineup like a Storm Spirit and a Pudge, who are both being backed up by a Kotl, and you've got to play very scared because the initiation range is just absolutely massive.
Absolutely. There's just too much to work with there. You really can't go outside of the base without vision or with the smoke or some way of making sure you are safe and you are comfortable, and they don't really have that. Had they killed Aphrodite in that fight twice and gotten that gem, then all of a sudden the map control goes way in their favor. But like you said, they really can't farm their whole jungle. They're counter-warding every single ward. Aphrodite finds another one and a DD, plus 2k gold that he's got online. They'll recall Dread in as well. There's maybe about to be a fight that breaks out. Lazard's going to try to run away. I think they spotted him out. Now they put another aggressive ward down. And the only person that is safe currently is Milan, and he's actually just to the top jungle, and he's even hiding. Now the fight breaking out, the hook coming in. They blow up one onto Lazard. Gogi pops the BKB, now stunned up. I think they used the Dismember on him. He blinks away. Mitch, his BKB about to go down, but I don't think they dive to the high ground to get this kill. Maybe they will. They get the Fisher off before he gets in there. Mitch still in trouble. The Mana Leak going through, gets the call up before he dies, but he does die, and that's the big thing. And now they're threatening the high ground here at 35 minutes in. Arise is going to have to TP back home and get involved, unless they lose the tier 3 tower.
Yeah, BKB's being popped by both the Anti-Mage and the Axe in that fight, and it was literally BKB run. They really couldn't fight against it, especially with Arise obviously on the top lane just pushing away, and he decided not to TP back to the fight. He just decided to continue pushing, and well, they lost 2 heroes because of it. If they manage to keep 2 heroes alive, then I think it's worth it for him to just stay here and continue putting pressure on the map, but he's got to come back right now.
I agree with you. While we're waiting, we're gonna, I think, swing it over to Pimp Muckle with the replay real quick. Pimp, what's up?
Right, just a real quick one, because once again this is a game of martyrs. Notice Gogi. Gogi's been hooked. He was in there, BKB activated, but everyone was just pounding away at him, a whole PL army, and then Mitch comes in. He saves the day, and with that short notice, back to you guys.
Yeah, Glyph goes. Tier 3 tower being assaulted. Arise really reluctant to come back home. He's gonna have to now. Buy back from Mitch, and maybe they stay back. The range Rex is taking a heavy amount of damage here, and Gogi is on the front lines as well. Very low range Rex. If they go in and hit it a couple more times, maybe they can get it done. Arise has yet to TP. He's gonna try to split push and get this tier 3 on his own. Range Rax is gonna fall. Melee Rax taking a couple of hits. Now the TP's coming out. BKB coming out from Arise. They're gonna actually fake back. They go into Mitch. The hook comes in and misses. Now Mitch checks up. Mano almost gone. Dismember is gonna go through. Echo Slam going in. I think missed completely, but they do get the kill on Mitch, who just bought back. Arise will Requiem. He hits 2, but not enough damage to kill anyone. Lazard's gonna fall. There's the hook. After Ninja and the rest of his squad might just win the game right now. Enchant Totem. Arise slowed up to the overload. Again, Artez going to work. Gogi has to blink out. Arise has to buy back. And Alpha Ninja up to 27 charges on his Bloodstone. The Melee Rex, about to fall. Artez going to work with this Manta style, now trying to build up towards that Scotty. Full set of racks down. They will not win the game just yet, but maybe another fight will secure the victory for HellRaisers.
Yeah, HellRaisers have done that a couple of times now already this game, just being able to bait mYi Insanity into a fight that they really shouldn't be taking, and both times punishing them very, very heavily. This game now heavily favored towards HR. A game that was reasonably close, I have to say, before that high ground push, but now mYi Insanity a hell of a job to do to come back into this game. And when you've been relying so much on the Shadow Fiend for the start of this game, then you know, really this anti-mage hasn't been able to find too much in terms of farm, relative to an anti-mage, of course.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. It's not like, I mean, Artez got off to a rough start as well, but he was able to recover because his team was aggressive. I think the biggest thing was that FNJ and Pudge made so much space. Now this Pudge has an Aghanim's for his dismember, which is huge. I mean, he's pretty tanky, he's pretty beefy, he's got a lot of strength to work with, so adding a strength-based damage bonus is certainly not a bad thing. There's the Scotty done for Artez as well, which will give him some extra load to work with, just keeping somebody in place. And then obviously staying alive long enough. He's going to get recalled probably before it gets there. No, he actually gets the Scotty. And Roche is being scouted out. It's up in 43 seconds. It's close to max duration, if not max duration at this point. FNJ is going to throw a remnant in there. He'll stay in the pit for the time being. And mYi really, I don't know if they could contest this at this point. Gogi still with that ultimate orb. Probably going to go for a Manta style, but he has to save for buyback. That's the biggest thing, is that if they lose Gogi at this point, if they lose really any of their cores, they might just lose the game.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, and they've just been starved too much in this mid portion of the game, and they don't have enough farm on their anti-mage, and that's the real thing that's costing him here. It's not the lack of farm over on Arise. He's actually managed to farm reasonably well considering the circumstances, but then obviously he hasn't come to some of the fights, and that's really cost mYi Insanity so far. Obviously playing with a stand-in is always going to be a little bit difficult, but maybe a little bit of communication issues in terms of what the team are aiming to do in the priority of the farm that they're looking to give over onto this anti-mage, who really just hasn't found enough. He probably needs another 10 minutes before he's in a position where he can actually take fights and have a huge impact, because at the end of the day, like, the only thing that's going to be able to get mYi Insanity anywhere near close to winning this game is some sort of huge impact, and whether that be an incredible Mana Void or just the most amazing Shallow Grave, we'll have to wait and see. But they're going to go for it by the looks of it. They're going to go for the Jugular, and it's going to happen up here on this top lane at this tier 3.
They had to make some sort of play, and this is the play to go for, as the top lane's been consistently split push by Arise. If they're going to try to take this victory, it'll be through, early on at least, Rad. Like you talked about, Gogi's not big enough yet. He doesn't do nearly enough damage. Fisher's going to go through. Pudge going to go for the hook. He's going to grab it. Dismember getting off. Now the call going through. Gogi is going to be able to blink away. Artez with that Phantom Rush. The Mana Leak on Lazard. Can't get the Grave off. Now the TP away from Mitch. He'll survive. Milan just blinks out in time. They're going to find him. They get the Hex up as well. The double kill for Artez going to work now. And, I mean, they had to make a play like that. You have to be aggressive. And even though they lose 2 heroes, it was still a smart idea coming out from mYi Insanity.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's not even too bad. They lose 2 heroes. They don't actually manage to get the tier 3 tower on the top lane. That still stands. But you actually force all of HR to rotate up towards this top lane, which then allows you to take control back of your jungle. And this is going to allow Arise to find a little bit of farm. It's going to allow your anti-mage, also Mitch on the axe as well, to be able to just find some farm, which is something they've been missing. They haven't been able to do this for the last 10 minutes or so. So even though they lost 2 heroes, I actually don't think that was the worst play in the world. I actually don't think the fact that they didn't manage to find any kills, they didn't manage to get the tower, at least they've managed to get a little bit of space back in their own side of the map.
Bottom, meanwhile, they're going to find out Arise. It's going to be FNJ going for the solo kill. He still doesn't have Hex. Arise, Shadow Blades, gems up for FNJ. Now out of mana, will regen very quickly, 57.1 per second. Arise will try to TP. Is he going to make it? He just does. Now they're going to go on to Mitch. They get the Dismember, the Fisher as well. Mitch falls very quickly, but they get the Grave off just in time. Earth Spike. Now there's going to be the Finger Zip in coming from FNJ, getting recalled to the engagement. Double kill for Artez. Triple kill for Artez. Gogi gets a nice double with the Mana Void. Now blinks away. Now FNJ still going to work. Mana regenning quickly. Gogi pops the BKB. He needs to get out. Arise left alone. He pops the BKB. Artez running away from the Requiem, doing little to no damage to him. Artez, no agents or anything. It's on FNJ. Gogi gets hexed up. He's going to fall. No. Oh, he just has enough for buyback. He just got it with that double kill after not having it. Now Arise up in the well, getting chased down by Artez, healing up slowly but surely. The doppelganger, they blow him up. Gogi, the last one to to try to defense this, and now there's going to be the Echo Slam to finish him off. And actually, the Illusions, he blinks away just in time, but there's the Godlike Spree. Lazard is the last. He just respawns. Dread's going to fall to the well. Appen and Jay as well, but that's just the Aegis.
Lizard's dead. Lizard's so dead right now. He has got the Shallow Grave, which is going to give him a bit of time. Milan actually mistimes the stun as well. There is going to be the Hex. Appen Ninja doesn't have a BKB, but he just buys a Ghost Scepter, and he's going to continue on in the base. He's got a little bit of mana, so he's going to be able to get himself out of there, and, well, this game's over.
Yeah, they're taking the Rax top while he's diving. He's creating space. Artez is kind of low on HP, but he doesn't seem to mind. Mitch is back up. That is kind of dangerous for them, but they don't seem to care. The range Rax about to go down. Spirit Lance, Milan whiffs it again. Mitch coming in, gets the call. Artez, he's got the Illusions. They give him and that Grave as well as the BKB. Lazard then gets focused down, realizing that doesn't have for the Grave for himself. Mitch is going to fall, and that'll be it for the first game. mYi with a fast start with the Arise Shadow Blade, but it's just not enough. Artez and Affininche going to work, even the Pudge. Goritz having a fantastic time. And really all of the heroes and every player from HellRaisers contributing to their victory here in this first game, Wakey.
Yeah, I think that was the one key thing. Like, we talked about how well Arise started, and he did. He had the best start out of anyone in the game. But it's not like HellRaisers had a bad start on any of their heroes. They got kills on the bot lane. They managed to find a decent amount of farm onto Artez, despite the dual lane they were up against in that Axe and Dazzle combo, which is extremely difficult to lane against. And Affininche was just absolutely brilliant throughout the whole game on that Storm Spirit. Made some very, very flashy plays. So anyway, game 2. Who do you fancy? Do you still fancy HR to take this one 2-0?
I think so. I really liked how HellRaisers, or rather mYi Insanity, played within the first couple of minutes, but it's just not enough. And Arise is trying his best to carry, but it looks like mYi Insanity, they've got some kinks to work out here. And HellRaisers, they look solid. They look really, honestly, it's not easy going up against an Axe Dazzle dual lane. And they played it not necessarily flawlessly, but they did a very good job. That's who I'd say. I want to hear your opinion. What do you think? HellRaisers or mYi Insanity next game?
HellRaisers for sure this game.
All right, well, there it is. We'll have to wait and see, folks, as we are done with the 5th game, the 6th and last game now coming up. It's been a long day, folks. We're about to finish it off here. Again, Dota Pit, organized by One Game Agency, brought to you by High Ground TV. You can check us out at High Ground TV. Follow us on Twitter at MottDota, at WikiPixel. Give him a shout out. Just starting, of course, with the co-casting with me. Definitely enjoying it so far. Make sure you give a shout out to Pitmunkle as well for the production for all 6 games over at Pitmunkle, and MottPax as well for doing the stats at MottPax. With that being said, we'll be back into game number 2 of this series. See you in a bit, guys.